Imagine this. You have a few deck chairs on a sinking ship. You rearrange those chairs in the name of reforms and change, but the ship is still sinking. And that is the situation that Sri Lanka finds itself in right now. The country is dealing with its worst economic crisis since independence. The cabinet resigned and the president offered to share power with the opposition. But the result was this. The first few nominations saw the president reappoint 4 of the outgoing ministers. So minutes after resigning, they were back to their old jobs. As for the other cabinet positions, there are now some new faces. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa sacked his brother and Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa. Former Justice Minister Ali Sabri will now serve as the new Finance Minister. GL Perez is the new Foreign Minister. Dinesh Gunawardena was sworn in as the Education Minister. And Johnston Fernando is the new Minister of Highways. The country's central bank governor Ajit Cabral also has stepped down. He has long opposed an IMF bailout for the country and is often blamed for Sri Lanka's economic crisis. The other cabinet vacancies will be filled after talks with the opposition. Currently, there is no immediate response from the opposition. 2 of Sri Lanka's main opposition parties have also rejected this request.
Sri Lanka is not a dictatorship. This is a democracy, and we will fight for the rights of the people, and we will fight to protect democracy in our motherland.
But these cabinet resignations are not enough to quell the protests on the ground. What the people really want is the Rajapaksas must resign, but Gotabaya Rajapaksa and his brother Mahinda continue to hold their posts. The anti-Rajapaksa sentiment is growing on the ground as Sri Lanka is grappling with its worst economic crisis in decades. After months of economic hardship, the crisis has only gone from bad to worse. Power cuts are common, fuel is too expensive, and ration lines are getting longer. Protesters say they will not stop until the Rajapaksas step down.
They are using temporary measures to stop these protests by the people. This government is over. Rajapaksa no longer can save this by playing musical chairs. This cabinet change is to try and fool the people.
The country is in the grip of unprecedented food and fuel shortages. Inflation is at a record high and power cuts in the country are crippling. On Monday, trading was halted on the country's stock exchange seconds after it opened. This comes after shares fell by more than the 5% threshold. Troops and police were placed on high alert after a 36-hour-long curfew ended at dawn. Our correspondent, Dasuni Athoda, has been tracking those developments on the ground. She sent us this report. Take a look.
Seeing right now is history in the making here in Sri Lanka, as hundreds of thousands, if not millions of citizens have now taken to the streets in various parts of Sri Lanka to voice their dissent and disapproval against the current government, which is led by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, for leading this entire country into the worst economic crisis in the history of this country. Now, as the protests continue to gather momentum in various regions, continues to lose its stronghold in Parliament, with many ministers and state ministers now tendering in their resignations due to a strong opposition given by the people here in Sri Lanka. Truly challenging and monumental times here in Sri Lanka. Reporting for WION World is one from Colombo. I am Dasuni Athoda.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.